So, like I said, all of these are important. Make sure you know character names. Make sure you know the main characters are George and Lenny. Make sure you know whose dog is shot. It's here somewhere. Um, Make sure you know what the character's physical appearance is. What does Lenny look like? And then what does George look like? And I can tell you right now, they're pretty opposite. So make sure you know that. They always talk about, or George always talks about what he could do if he didn't have Lenny around. That's a recurring theme in the novel. Make sure that you know that. At the beginning of the novel, Lenny hides something in his pants. Oh, that sounds horrible. At the beginning of the novel, there's something in Lenny's pocket. What is it? What's their dream, right? That's important. What's their piece of the American dream? Curly. Curly wears something to set him apart from other men. What is it? What is that? Hmm. I found an error. I'm editing. Okay, so Curly um, wears something to set him apart from the other men. Make sure you know what that was. There's a character that's missing a hand and has an old dog. Make sure you know who that character is. Somebody used to be a boxer. Um, and then there are two people constantly looking for each other in the novel. Who are they? You need to know that. Lenny tries to sneak something into the bunkhouse at night, and George catches him. Know what that is. They're right before they get to the farmhouse or the ranch. Sorry, right before they get to the ranch, they have a dinner of beans, and Lenny says he wants this on his beans, and he knows they don't have it. Um, know who the boss's son is. Know who shoots Candy's dog. Oops, I just gave you an answer. Candy's the one with the no hand and dog. And who shoots his dog? It's pretty easy to figure that one out. There is one of the workers who's respected by everybody at the ranch. Who is that? Who's the guy who sleeps in the stable and has a crooked back and he is ostracized from the rest of the men? Who jumps in on Lenny and George's dream? Who has the money to actually give them a shot at actually achieving this dream, even though you know they never will? Somebody breaks Curly's hand. Just let you say he's obsessed with rabbits. There's a point in the story where George is talking to Slim, right? And they're kind of talking about how George and Lenny have gotten on and why they're together. And George tells a story about why he doesn't tease Lenny anymore and why he doesn't make fun of him. Remember that'll be important to at least a couple of questions on your final. Aunt Clara stopped giving Lenny mice. Why was that? There's a couple things that Curly's wife tells Lenny in the barn. Mostly of it goes over Lenny's head because, like I said, Lenny, he just doesn't have the emotional capacity for that. But it's her version of the American dream. She kind of does a little confessional during that. So What does she tell him? It should be in chapter 5. Yeah, 5. Why does George just not let Lenny run away? What does Candy's wife fear most, or what does Candy fear most after Curly's wife is gone? Slim comes up to George and tells George it's probably a bad idea for the men to catch Lenny. The men think Lenny is armed. Why is that? Chapter 6, we talked about this a little bit. Chapter 6 brings the book full circle. What does that mean, and how does it do that? There are a couple things that visit Lenny near the water. It's kind of his unconscious mind coming to the forefront. What are those two things? There's a literary term that talks about things that happen in the novel that give clues to what happens later in the novel. What literary term is that? It's foreshadowing, by the way. Before George pulls the trigger, he tells Lenny about the place they're going to live. Why does he do that? And then Steinbeck tells us that Lenny likes to pet soft things. How does that play into the novel? George and Lenny are different from other ranch hands. Why? When George has to explain about Lenny, what does he say happened to Lenny? He doesn't say he's developmentally disabled and slow. What's the excuse he gives? What is George's motivation? No, I'm sorry. What is Lenny's motivation to go live on the ranch? What excites him about this dream? So this book is good because it earlier events foreshadow what happened later on in the novel, right? Steinbeck does a good job of dropping small hints and putting events in that, if you think about them, they foreshadow what happened later. One of these is the disaster in the town. Beforehand, know the name of that town. It's pretty easy to remember. There's a guy. Okay, so the ranch is a hierarchy with the boss at the top, right? He's the boss. He's at the top of this hierarchy. We got other people in different spots. George and Lenny are kind of at the bottom because they're new. Who's under even George and Lenny, and who will never move any higher in the hierarchy of the ranch than where they are? That should be easy to figure that one out. There are several animals killed during the story. Which one is not? There are several animals mentioned. Most of them die sometime. One of them doesn't. What is it? Lenny has a funny last name. Why is it funny? Where does George tell Lenny to hide if he gets in trouble? They mentioned Curly's wife's fingernails at one point. No, they were red. Who's the man with the puppies? That should be pretty easy. It's not Lenny. Who gives the puppy to Lenny? There's a couple of vocab on there. Synonyms. It's only 3 questions though. All right. I have most of your stuff graded, like I said. If by any means you haven't turned anything in or you turn it in today, I need you to send me a message telling me exactly what you turned in because I'm not going to go back and look. Um, so if you go back and you turn in the poems and you turn in something else, send me a message. Say, Mr. Covington, this is what I turned in. Can you please grade them? At 1:15 today, I am closing down all the books. I will shoot you a message with your grade at 1:15. So you have until then to turn everything in. That's a pretty, let's see, 3.5 hours from now. So you have plenty of time to get stuff done. What I would do is I would probably do your quiz first and then go back with anything else you have to make up. You can take this quiz one time. You know what? No, you can take it twice. It's 60 questions, though. So if you're going to take it more than once, you're really going to need to hurry the second time through. I will be dropping that in the chat in the team. I'm actually doing that right now. There is no Flipgrid for today. I had like 17 responses yesterday. I think that's the most I've had. Y'all get credit for those, like I said. I had a very low turnout on the Second Coming and the Yeats poems, and those are worth 100 points. So it's a decent percentage, 4% of your grade. So I would go ahead and do those if you hadn't. And then, like I said, any other work that hasn't been done, you can turn in, except for Flipgrids, those closed, and quizzes. The quizzes closed too. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Let me know. I will be online, probably grading most of the time. So go ahead and give me a message or jump back into this call and I can help you out. Other than that, I hope you guys have at least learned some things this summer. Like I said, it was new for you, it was new for me. This isn't probably what classes are going to look like next year because it's a summer school class and review. But I can tell you right now, more than likely you're going to be starting in this distance learning sort of thing. We don't know what it's going to look like yet. I'm going to put a survey in the team. I'm going to drop it in there in a few minutes. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know how this worked for you. I want to know how you can, how we could do it better, what worked, what didn't work, and then since you're going to be doing this in August, about a month, almost a month to the day, let me know any ideas you might have about how to make this work better. Your feedback is very valuable, especially at the high school level. We can ask third and fourth graders this, and they're going to be like, I just didn't like it. But when we ask you this, you actually have, some profound ideas, and you should be a part of how your education works anyways. So let me know what you thought. Let me know what we could do better, and any ideas you might have. That will be worth 50 points extra credit. Okay, that's like 3%. So I'll drop that in there soon. Other than that, have a great day. I hope you guys do well on your test, and I will be messaging you your grade soon. Have a good one.